Imagine a world without vibrant color, a canvas muted, a statue lifeless. For millennia, artists have pursued perfection, seeking hues that capture the soul, yet often at a terrible price. Across ancient workshops and Renaissance studios, a single pigment, radiant and irresistible, became a silent killer. It promised eternal brilliance, but delivered agony, madness, and an early grave. This is the story of art's most beautiful betrayer. The pigment so toxic, it drove painters mad, yet they simply couldn't live without it. Pure white, opaque, brilliant, lead white was a miracle. From antiquity, artists craved a pigment that could capture light and bring unparalleled luminosity to their creations. It was perfect for mixing, lightening, and adding dimension, becoming the cornerstone of palettes across civilizations. A color so vibrant, so essential, that its dark secret remained hidden for centuries, a silent accomplice in masterpieces that glowed with a dangerous beauty. This was the pigment that promised eternity on canvas, but delivered a different fate to those who wielded it. Crafting this luminous white was a grim alchemy. Ancient recipes detailed a process of corroding lead metal with vinegar vapor in sealed pots, often buried in dung or spent grape skins for warmth. Days, weeks, sometimes months would pass as the lead slowly transformed into a beautiful, fine white powder, basic lead carbonate, or ceruse. This dangerous transformation, often undertaken in poorly ventilated workshops, released toxic fumes. Workers inhaled microscopic lead particles, laying the groundwork for the insidious disease that would plague generations of artists long before a brush touched a canvas. Lead white wasn't merely a pigment. It was a cornerstone of ancient aesthetics, defining beauty from the Nile to the Tiber. Egyptians used it in cosmetics and tomb paintings, envisioning eternal life with its brilliance. Greek sculptors applied it to their marble to make gods and heroes appear more lifelike. Romans embraced it in dazzling frescoes, adorning their villas with scenes that gleamed with its pure, opaque quality. For millennia, this beautiful, dangerous white spread across the ancient world, its silent poison embedded in the very fabric of civilizations, a constant companion to artistic ambition. For any serious artist, lead white was indispensable. Its superior opacity meant unparalleled coverage, creating brilliant highlights and strong undertones. It dried quickly, allowing for efficient layering, and its unique optical properties gave other colors a vibrancy impossible to achieve with any other white. Alternatives were either too transparent, too slow-drying, or simply lacked the same luminosity. To abandon lead white was to sacrifice artistic excellence, a choice few were willing to make, cementing its reign as the king of pigments, a jewel on every master's palette. The danger wasn't just in its creation, it was in its daily use. Artists would grind dry lead white into a fine powder before mixing it with oil, inadvertently releasing clouds of toxic dust. Licking brushes to achieve a fine point, a common practice, directly ingested lead. Skin absorption, handling lead-primed canvases, or even simply breathing the air in a dusty studio. All were pathways for the insidious metal to enter the body. Slowly, silently, the poison accumulated, a ticking time bomb within the very hands that created beauty, unnoticed until it was too late. The symptoms were unmistakable, yet often misdiagnosed. Known as painter's colic, victims would endure agonizing abdominal pain, nausea, and severe constipation, mimicking other common ailments. Over time, muscle weakness, tremors, and paralysis began to set in, often affecting the dominant hand, the very hand that held the brush. Artists described a creeping numbness, a loss of control, a betrayal by their own bodies. It was a cruel irony, as the tool of their trade slowly crippled their ability to create, transforming their creative impulse into physical agony. Beyond the physical, torment, lead exacted a terrible toll on the mind. Chronic exposure led to profound neurological damage, manifesting as irritability, paranoia, and memory loss. Many artists experienced fits of inexplicable rage, profound depression, and eventually, full-blown insanity. The creative spark that once burned so brightly was extinguished, replaced by a fog of confusion and delusion. The mad artist wasn't merely a trope. For many, it was a tragic reality, their minds slowly unraveling. Driven to madness by the very material they cherished, their genius eclipsed by a chemical curse. Why then did they persist? The answer lies in its unparalleled artistic qualities and a desperate lack of viable alternatives. To artists, the risks were simply part of the profession, an unavoidable hazard like breathing dusty air or suffering poor eyesight. The quest for artistic perfection overshadowed self-preservation. They believed the brilliance lead White brought to their art was worth the potential price, a desperate gamble for immortality on canvas. It was a Faustian bargain, trading health and sanity for eternal beauty, a choice dictated by necessity and artistic obsession. As centuries passed, scientific understanding slowly caught up with anecdotal evidence. By the 18th and 19th centuries, physicians and chemists began to conclusively link lead pigments to the debilitating illnesses plaguing artisans. The dangers became undeniable. Calls for safer alternatives grew louder, leading to the development of zinc white and later titanium white, which offered similar opacity and brilliance without the toxic cost. The reign of lead white was slowly drawing to a close, but its legacy of beautiful torment would forever be etched in art history, a stark lesson learned too late. Today, lead white is largely relegated to historical restoration or specialized uses, often handled with extreme caution. But its story is a poignant reminder of art's enduring power and the sacrifices made in its pursuit. The masterpieces that adorn our museums, glowing with the dangerous luster of ceruse, are not just celebrations of human creativity, but silent monuments to human suffering. The pigment that drove painters mad remains a testament to both art's irresistible allure and its chilling, unseen costs. A beautiful, deadly paradox that continues to captivate and warn us. The story of lead white is a stark reminder of humanity's relentless pursuit of beauty, even at the gravest personal cost. For thousands of years, artists, driven by an unyielding vision, embraced a pigment that brought both unparalleled brilliance and agonizing torment. Their masterpieces, glowing with the dangerous luster of lead, stand as testaments not only to their genius, but to their silent suffering. The canvas tells tales, but sometimes the deepest stories are hidden in the very colors that bring them to life, whispering secrets of beauty and madness from across the ages.